And that is the difference, because in a non-family business, you always have a scenario where performance in a good non-family business, right? You always have, let's say, performance indicators are always looked at. How are we doing this month? How are we doing this quarter? What are our next plan? When we form a budget, right? The budget is not about, do I have to build a house for my son? Do I have to build a house for my daughter? The budget is not, well, you know what, I need to send my grandchild to university. The budget is about the growing of the business. The budget is about, look, you know what, I'm going to open a next shop next year. I'm going to increase my sales. I'm going to bring in experts. I'm going to bring in specialists. And in there, right, in that balancing between saying, what am I going to do, what I plan to do for my family, what my goals are, and what I plan to do for my business, that balance is key to is key to being successful in your family business.
So what's interesting is that what you're saying, Vivek, is that sometimes the family prosperity and business prosperity, there might be some sort of an unbalanced disconnection, right? Has it happened, Pharrell, in your family business? Or do you see that it's really a challenge, or it's a non-issue for you?
Do you think that there's a connection or there's a disconnection?
Either way, is it a connection, disconnection? What has been your personal experience between the connection between family wealth and business wealth?
Well, when you look at the family structure or the management of a family first, we come back to family. So that the thing about it is, when you have a family business, because it is owned and managed by the family, business prosperity becomes financial wealth and financial prosperity. So that there is a significant degree of overlap between the wealth and the performance of the business and the wealth of the family, because it's directly related. It's one of the business structures, the family business unit. It's one of the only business structures that brings together a social entity or institution in the family and a corporate entity, which is a business. So the family business is really a merger of the two. And that is what makes family business very, very, very unique. Because it is the only business structure that unites a social aspect of society with a corporate side.
Interesting.
I think the important point was raised with respect to growth of young persons as opposed to older persons. And I had the benefit of working both inside, and I was allowed to go outside. And I say allowed to go outside for a while. And the goals of a family business are changed by, one, the scale of the business, and two, the generation that is managing the business. Initially, it is, as Sorrel said, to get the family up to a certain level, should I say. And after that is more about maintenance. You spoke about governance and so on and so forth. And many of the firms in Trinidad, I'm not sure if governance is a big aspect of it, but control, maintenance, passed down from generation to generation is a big thing. That's a legacy to pass down from generation to generation. Many often you find firms get a certain size, and families would say, I am happy, there's absolutely no need. Why take that extra step on to risk growth into outside your comfort zone or into a new area or diversify? That really is not a concern. It is get to a certain size, the family unit is happy, they're well taken care of, and they don't bother to go to the next level.
Man.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is the business is about managing the business and managing the family. Now, in accounting, one of the first principles you learn is the business entity concept. Separate the finances of the business from the finances of the family. Now, we have had a lot of successful family business, which mean that they have been successful in putting that dichotomy between business and family. Um, could that be rooted in the, what you can say, the founding culture of the operation of the family business, not to, at the very start, see that this is a separation and bringing in the whole idea of governance and purpose?
Well, I think there is a very important point here. With respect to the financing, many of the family firms that exist now were not financed by any financial institution, but were financed from the founders, their own hard work and sweat, or family members and stuff like that. And repayment was either to, internal or immediate family, and repayment was based on the trust, the word, right? And because of that, should I say, that start, that kind of got ingrained in them. Many family firms now, when they approach financial institutions, and when I say family firms, 20, 30 years old, maybe that were, or a little more than that were founded by, and still run by their founders. They're very distrustful if they have to go to a bank and present a business plan, or when auditors come to view their books, or you find I've seen very successful family businesses that are very distrustful of technical computers, because the founder is not able to go on the computer and see a stock. You have a good idea of a stock and financing and so on in his head, but that openness is not there yet. I think with the new generation it might come, but the 40 to 50-year-old firms, 30 to 40-year-old firms, I don't think it's there yet.
But your comment about culture I think is very important, right? One of the other characteristics of a family business is that family businesses tend to look for solutions for their problems internally. They don't like to seek outside help. They don't like to outsource professionals or specialists to deal with the problems that they have. Now, on a basic level, that may work. Later on, with expansion and stuff like that, when things start to get more complicated, because now the business structure begins to get more complex, it is something that needs to be done. Now, their argument, or the argument of, let's say, the directors of the family business, is that, look, you know what? It's mom, dad, children. Within 4 of us here, we're supposed to be able to solve this problem, or else, look, you know what? Because of my experience and all the things that I've been through for all these years, I know the solution to this problem. And that may not always be the right thing to do. And it's also, I have to say, unfortunately, the wrong culture to have, particularly if your family business is growing.
There's a reality, which I think that it has been touched upon. The research actually has found that about 50% of family businesses disappear when passing the baton from the founder to the first generation. From the first generation to the second generation, the success rate is about 25%. So 1 in every 4 family businesses are able to survive after the second generation. We were talking today, Vargas and I, about how curious the connection between the word success with succession. Now, why there is such a high rate of failure when passing the baton from one generation to the other? How can you explain? You are the protagonist there. You are actually both successors and founders as well, So why?